Hi again, everyone. I thought I would hook this thing up and let you hear it. I know the internet's an imperfect medium when it comes to conveying sound quality, but I thought I'd just sort of plug this thing into my interface and run it through an amp sim, just so you can get an idea of kind of the variety of sounds it's capable of. Because I'm pretty happy with my decision, sort of last minute, to include this three-way mini toggle switch and take advantage of, the different settings and the different tones you can get out of the bass, as opposed to just going with the standard, standard kind of bass and treble controls. So to recap, this is a Glock and Clang preamp. It's got volume, balance, bass, and treble. It's got a push-pull sort of active-passive feature on the volume knob. It also has a mini three-way toggle, which will put just the back pickup in parallel, single coil, or series mode. And that's where you get like a lot of the cool tonal variations. Now, I could do that because this is a 4-conductor pickup, whereas the neck pickup is just a simple 2-conductor. I think it's like 1 conductor and shielding, so there's no switchable options for it. But still, using the 2 pickups in combination also produces a lot of tonal variation. So I think this bass has a lot of kind of variety. So the first setting I'm going to demonstrate is I'm going to keep the treble and bass kind of neutral at the midpoint for all of these, because that's where I tend to set it anyways. I don't ever really crank either one of them up that much. So the first, and so I think I mentioned I'm going through an Apollo audio interface, and that's being run through an amp sim of an Eden World Tour amp, WT800. And it's just all very kind of flat settings. And there's no reverb or like no other effects on the bass. So the first sound I'm going to play is, I believe, the parallel mode for just the back pickup. The front pickup's off. I got the balance all the way to the back, the bridge pickup. And so this is in parallel. I'll try to play the same lick for all these different examples, and I'll try to span the neck so you get a sense. So here, once again, parallel, back pickup only. And these are Delano pickups, by the way. I mentioned that in the last video. This is JC6 and an MC6. And then, like I said, Glock and Clang Electronics. That's parallel. And to me, the interesting thing is parallel mode almost sounds like when you have both pickups on the neck, like that weird kind of, it has that sort of phase element that you get when you're using both pickups. Like a lot of players, like John Patitucci, uses both pickups. It's a very distinctive sound. I think the parallel mode on this pickup only gives you a very similar sound. So the middle position is single coil. And I think this is really a cool sound because it's essentially making it like, a pickup on a Fender bass. It's one of those, single coil, like on a standard jazz bass or a P bass. Well, actually, a P bass technically is kind of humbucking because the coils are split. But anyways, so this allegedly should make it sound like kind of a jazz bass pickup in the bridge position, single coil. So same thing. I think that sounds great. And I'll run this thing through. I'll do the same thing in passive mode because I think it sounds even better in passive mode. So anyways, so now it's in series, kind of standard humbucker configuration. As you can tell, it's got like a lot more beef and bottom end. It's a nice sound too. It's fatter and it's kind of like more like you get just in a standard bass with humbuckers. So that is the pickup in active mode. Now I'm going to pull it out and do the same thing in passive. So here's the parallel in passive mode. Not terribly much difference. Here's the single coil mode. passive mode. I think that sounds really sweet. I'm really sold on this single coil mode. It's really a great option. Here it is, passive mode, series. Sounds pretty good too. I mean, the selling point of this Glock and Clang preamp is supposed to be that when you have the tone controls flat, or in the kind of zero position, I guess, or maybe halfway, I guess you'd say, in their notch, the bass sounds almost exactly the same in passive or active. It's that transparent, and I think that's true. And that's one thing I really like about this Glock and Clang rig. Okay, so now let's try putting it back in active mode. I'm going to, well, the switch doesn't really matter. I'm gonna solo the neck pickup and see what that sounds like. It's got like a nice beefy, reminds me a lot of a P bass, frankly. Again, that's with the tone controls neutral. You know, if I crank it up a little, get a little more sparkle, and then of course more bass, so on and so forth. That's pretty much all I would be able to, oh yeah, let's try it in passive mode. So here's neck pickup passive mode. Again, I think it's got a nice kind of, you know, sound kind of reminiscent of a P bass. Let's try mixing them up. I'm going to put it back in active mode. This is both pickups. You can hear like how much bass increases when you're running both pickups. And that's with the let's see, that's with the back pickup in series. Now I'm going to do the single coil on the back pickup, which is interesting because, you know, that almost makes it like a J bass. Pretty cool sounding. I like that a lot. Here it is in probably what would be the standard configuration. If you were using two pickups, you'd run this one in parallel, and then that'll kind of balance it out with the front pickup. That to me sounds like a really clean, kind of studio-worthy sound. Modern, I should say, you know, kind of modern sounding. And then let's just run through in passive mode really quick and see what that does. See, again, sounds very much the same. And you know, in this passive mode, of course, the only tone control you have is the treble knob, and that's like playing a jazz bass. The tone is pretty. It's not dramatic. That's with it all the way off, all the way up. Anyways, it sounds pretty good. I'm super pleased with the variety of tones you can get out of this bass. I've only just now, this is really the first day it's been fully assembled with the electronics wired up. I'm only just now kind of getting the hang of it and what produces the best sound, but there just seems to be a lot of variety in it. And again, that really, I think I made a good choice at the last minute to take advantage of the 4-conductor wiring in this pickup and get a little 3-way mini toggle switch, because I really think that single coil mode is dynamite. Like, there's even a little bit of 60 cycle hum, which is super cool. Anyways, so there you have it, the electronics. Cheers.